We're joined now by the former undisputed world heavyweight champion, James Douglas. Buster, thank you for being with us. How are you celebrating the anniversary today?
Well, right now, I'm just here in the studio, but it's a great day, a memorable day. I'm looking forward to spending the rest of the day with the family and friends and just reminiscing, I guess.
It's hard to believe it's been 30 years, Buster, and we just heard some of the negativity, some of the people who felt you did not have a chance at that time against Mike Tyson, all those predictions that you would be crushed. What do you remember thinking as you were hearing those in the weeks leading up to the fight?
Well, it was amusing. It was just fuel for the fire. Like, I'll show them. I'll show them what's really going on. Couldn't wait. Of course.
Buster, just a few weeks before the fight, your mother, Lula Pearl Douglas, she died suddenly. And there were those who said you shouldn't go on with the fight at all. You chose, of course, to go on with the fight. How did her death inspire you? How did it motivate you and make a difference in Tokyo?
Well, prior to her passing, she came over to the house. And she and I sit down, and she asked me questions about how I was feeling and, you know, just really checking me out to see was I mentally ready as well. And she was very confident after we talked. And, you know, the last words she said to me, like, "You're so mean, you're so mean." You know, and then she went home, and that was the last time we talked.
How did you make the decision to go on with the fight? To face Mike Tyson after she died?
Because after talking to my mother, you know, I was telling her that I was ready and felt confident, and I wasn't letting anything distract me. And she felt confident, and she believed in me as well. And it was an honor to her to know that I could continue on this journey that I had, this quest of becoming the heavyweight champion of the world. And so I just kept going. It was just motivation, you know, it just inspired me even more, you know, turning a negative into a positive.
Buster, before you got into the ring 30 years ago today to fight Mike Tyson, it seemed that most of the opponents he had fought were scared to death before they got into the ring. They were intimidated. Why weren't you intimidated?
Well, I was a professional, and I fought on about 6 undercards of Mike, and I didn't see him larger than life. I see him as a regular human being, you know, a talented human being, you know, a lot of skill, but I felt that I could, you know, had just as much ability and skill to, you know, compete. And, you know, I felt very strongly, and the people that were with me felt as strong as I did about me going into the fight. You know, they seen how much work I put into it and that I was ready.
Buster, you took the fight to him from that opening bell. You can see it in his eyes if you watch the fight. He was surprised that he was not in a position to impose his will on you as that fight progressed. What do you remember thinking as the fight goes on and you're winning round after round against Mike Tyson?
Well, as my father once always said, there's nothing like going in there and losing a fight without letting your hands go. And I let my hands go and let them go, let them go. You know, I threw the punches and with bad intentions, and you know, I fought. I mean, that's what, you know, I did. I let my hands go. Stood up to him. You know, it's like facing one's fears. Because he was a fierce fighter and intimidating fighter. But I stood up to the intimidator and overcame.
Buster, all these years later, can you put into words what it means to you to have fashioned that upset that many consider the greatest, most surprising, most shocking outcome in sports history?
Well, I would say there's just determination and will. You know, focus and believing in yourself more than anything, and giving it all you got, you know, all the best.
Buster,
only my best.
I know you've seen Mike Tyson a few times in the last few years at various events. What do you guys say to each other when you see each other?
Well, the last time we were together was at his birthday. celebration, and he invited me to be on his podcast, and I agreed. So we're trying to work that out. But it's been pleasant.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.